Alright, this is a follow-up on our previous video on CSS bus model, and we want to just quickly explain a few crucial points. We are still looking at the CSS bus model, talking about the content, padding, border, and of course margin. Okay, so first of all, would like to highlight a few points and explain them just briefly. I will talk about background color, which you can see here, and of course in our test here. Okay, I would like to say that background color only applies to padding and content. Okay, it is only when you have a content that you can have your background color, then you create a padding. Okay, of course that is within the box model. And of course we quickly want to point out that you can combine properties into one. Like for instance, you will see where we were talking about padding, right? We worked on padding and we talked about padding, or let's use the margin for instance. We talk about margin left, margin top, and margin bottom. And if you don't want to specify all of this and say margin left, margin right, margin bottom, you can simply just do this. You look at this test down here. We said padding 20 pixel, 20 pixel, 20 pixel into 4 places. Okay, and what it happens is it goes in a top down order. So this first 20 pixel is for your padding top. This second one is for padding right. This third one is for padding bottom, and the fourth one is for padding left. So it goes all the way from the top here down to the bottom and then up again to your left. So that's how it works. So if for instance you want to create a margin on the left here like we did here, and you simply want to just write margin, all you need to do, like here for instance, is to type your margin top first. Okay, I think in this instance we did not have a margin for top. Okay, let's do that with our image. Okay, let's do that with our image, and we are just going to create padding for our image. What we did here initially was 25 pixels. So that would be, this first 25 pixels will be our padding for our image top. Then the second 25 pixel will be our padding for our image right. Okay, 25 pixels. And this third one will be 25, okay, let's say 30 pixels for our image bottom here. And of course we are going to put a lot more padding here, and we'll say 60 pixels for our image bottom, and we'll simply save this. Remember your padding property, when you use this shortcut, just putting it all in one place, it goes from top here. This is your first value is your margin top. The value that follows is your margin right. The value that follows after right is your margin bottom, and then finally your margin left. So we're just going to save this and hit refresh. And as you can see, let's expand this a bit. You now have a lot of room here because we use 60 pixels on our margin left, and we use 30 down here, 25 here, and 25 here. So you see that here is a bit bigger than here, and our left margin is quite bigger than all the other margins. So you see that it works. So a lot of people like to use that shorthand, but I prefer to use the normal way of specifying individually what you want to have, whether it's margin or padding. Okay, so that is that for keeping it all in one place using the shorthand. And of course, if you want to eliminate margin completely, in between two elements, like our picture here and the text, you can do that. You can simply set your margin to 0, and that's what we said here. You can use a margin property can be set to 0 to eliminate margin completely. So if, for instance, we don't want to have margin in between these two, we can simply just set our margin hyphen top on this one, margin hyphen top here to 0, and margin hyphen bottom here to 0, and that would completely eliminate the margin. And if we do not want margin here also, we can create a border for our body element and we'll remove that margin. Okay, I think that we should just do that. Okay, so we'll put a border here, right? We'll put border here, and we'll simply just do a 5 pixel border, 5 pixel solid, let's say solid black, okay, to make it really stand out. And we'll hit refresh. So as you can see, the body of our web page now has a margin, now has a border, right? And if, for instance, we want to eliminate this border, all we need to do is simply set this border, this margin to 0, and we'll do that shortly for you to see. We simply come to our body tag and set our margin here, margin hyphen left to 0. Okay, we set that to 0. We save this up and we hit refresh, and you see that it completely eliminates our margin, and you see that our spot session starts immediately from the border, and the borders are touching each other. So that is how you eliminate margin using the boss model in CSS rule. Okay, all right, so that will do it for this video. We are going to revert back to how it was before we started. That should be all for this video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in our next class.